This is the Gear4Music Knoxville 12-string Telecaster. Now, I've been interested in having an electric 12-string for ages. I've not played a 12-string now for about 25 years, and I was really interested in having this 12-string sound and using it with my synthesizers and my electronic sounds, which is what I'm most noted for. So I've been looking for an electric 12-string for some time, and what brought me to this make was a review by Mr. John Coupland, who did this excellent review of the Gear4Music 12-string bulb back acoustic. I'll put a link to his review in this video, and that really inspired me to go and try one. And so I picked this instrument up, and what you've basically got is a standard Telecaster electronics and switching. So you've got a neck pickup, the bridge pickup, and the in-between sounds, and you've got the one tone and the one volume, all pretty much standard stuff. The body itself, this looks like it's a two-piece glued together. I've seen much more expensive guitars using this method, and it seems to work okay. And we've got a maple neck. I don't know what the fingerboard is, to be honest with you, but it feels okay. Out the box, this is quite a surprising instrument for its price. This is only £119 on the website, and for that I really wasn't expecting that much, to be honest with you, but got it out the box. The action is already at quite a reasonable height. The frets were a bit rough, and the machine heads needed doing, and of course the isolation needed fixing. Took this to a luthier, very well known luthier, and he sorted it all out for me for £50, and so basically it's a really good guitar for £169. Also he included a new set of strings. The strings that came with it really weren't that great. These are much better. So what's it like as an instrument? Well, I've already fallen in love with it. The 12 string's quite a niche instrument in many ways. There's many things on an electric 12 string that you really can't do that you would on an electric 6 string, which is why in the 70s, when these were popular, the thing to have was a double neck guitar, so that you could swap between the two instruments very easily. So if you wanted to play your string bending solo, you would use the neck with the 6 strings on. Can't really do anything like this vibrato on a 12 string. If you're lucky, really doesn't sound very good. Not surprising. You're playing a chorus as opposed to a single string. But what you get from this is this lovely harpsichordy type sound, such as and so forth. The slides can sound really nice. And of course, anybody familiar with Lead Belly will know that you can play blues very effectively on a 12 string. So what does it sound like? Well, I'll go through the pickups. On the neck pickup, we'll give you a much more deeper, much more softer sound. The middle pickup in between the two, and of course the bridge pickup. I would say is all I've really got in terms of effects is a bit of slapback echo and a bit of reverb, and that's just about it. As an instrument, the 12 string, if you think of the playing of people like Johnny Marr and Peter Buck, and that really sort of 80s indie sound, put some chorus with this and it can really come alive in a very different way as an instrument. So here, if you have a very typical deep wide chorus, here we give you a sound quite like that. Little bit more delay and reverb. And a bit of EQing as well. Will give you quite a really nice lush sound. Other things you can do with a 12 string, the EBow works surprisingly well with it, and I'll just demonstrate that. I would say with the EBow, because it's trying to move both strings, getting this positioned correctly really becomes an art, especially as you can't use the grooves to balance it on two strings, but nonetheless you can get some interesting effects with it. So I use it with a plectrum. I use quite a heavy pick to really move the courses. Some people finger pick quite effectively with a 12 string, but anybody sort of taking it up must be aware that when you bring your finger down, you're going to hit something, but you're not always necessarily going to hit the full course, i.e. the two strings together. So my approach is to use a pick, and you can get some really nice, clear harpsichord-like tones. It is different from playing an acoustic 12 string in that you've got this sustain, and that sustain you can effect and you can really use to an interesting effect, particularly with some chords. And for strumming, you can get some really very nice ringing open chords. sus2 and sus4 chords work particularly well. And even the minors can be quite good. You always get the impression that the thing with 12 strings is getting them perfectly in tune is always an art form, and it's a lot of tuning over the 12 strings. Some people detune them slightly to get this natural chorusing effect between the courses, between the individual strings, and you can get some really good effects like that. But it is time to really get those effects. I kind of would rely on the electronics to do that sort of thing, but For my own purposes, at some point, I'm going to try this in DADGAD tuning, D-A-D-G-A-D, which could be really effective. Some people also choose to slacken the tension off by tuning this down a tone and then putting a capo on a second fret, which will give them, in effect, the same tuning, but will slacken the feel of the strings off quite a bit. I'm quite happy not doing that with this. As you can hear, I've not quite got used to it yet. And you end up with calluses in different places because you're holding down two strings instead of one, so suddenly you're needing to use a lot more space on the end of your fingers. But yeah, get used to it, play it, practice, get used to it. But in conclusion, for £119 and add to that a setup fee of somewhere around £40–50 depending on who you take it to, you've really got a bargain. And then it's a really good introduction into the world of electric 12-string guitars.